What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Welcome to the World of Sports podcast, man. Y'all already know it's your boy, John, Eddie, and Braxton, man, in the flesh, man. How y'all doing today, fellas?
I think you know how we feeling, bro.
Well, we're going to get into it, trust me.
Yeah, it's not my greatest moments right now, but I'm still kicking.
Oh, Lord, man. Y'all feel good yesterday. Y'all feel it. But, man, we're going to start this podcast off in a different way, man, starting with the national championship that took place on last night, which is Monday, man. Indiana pulled off the win against Miami, but it was a close one, 27-21, man. What's y'all thoughts on that game? I know Brax said during the game that the game ain't have no aura, but, I mean, I feel like it was a great game. How y'all feel?
Well, his what he said was coming, it was looking like that in the first half because it was like it's gonna be a stinker. But they turned up in the half. In the second half, Mendoza. I had them boys winning, and Mendoza, he had that crazy play. He got my respect. He got drafted on that play last night alone to be the first pick of the Raiders. But they've been playing good all year, so I definitely think that they deserve this win. Miami defense was crazy though, but Carson Beck will do what Carson Beck does. Like it's at the point, like after they had had the field goal, like everybody in at the job, they was like, "Yep, it's about that time." Carson Beck finna throw the interception. Like that's crazy. Like everybody just know his history, bro. And like everybody guessed, he came out there and threw the pick, bro. And nobody was surprised. It was like, there it is. Like it's just like a relief. And it's just like it was sad because like that being his his resume and like what people expect on him, that's kind of sad, bro. And that just goes to show like that's the type of player that Carson Beck is, bro. He's very mid, and he's a he when he's in a good situation, he can do a little, and that's how they got here, just because their defense and the weapons he has around him, and all you have to do is just play mistake free, and you give yourself a chance, and that's what on the other side of it, Mendoza did. I like Mendoza. Like I told these fellas and right here, I think he is like a upgraded Brock Purdy. That's gonna be like his future. I see him in the league, and a more athletic Brock Purdy, more likable Brock Purdy. So I'm rooting for Mendoza. I like him. He is a very religious person. He wear like his motions on his shoulder, and I like that. He's and unapologetic to him. So shout out Mendoza and the boys for one.
Yeah, I agree with most of what you said. I gotta give them credit. I didn't think that they would be able to get the win based off of, Miami's defense. I thought they had enough to, overcome whatever Indiana was gonna bring. But in this situation, Indiana showed up for sure. And they got whatever they needed whenever they needed it. Like that's the type of thing that you want to do going into the championship. But as for my thoughts on Mendoza, I always would say, I never seen him in a game that really was competitive in my opinion, or not competitive, but like that he had to bring it and it wasn't pretty, it was ugly. But in this situation, it still wasn't ugly, but he did what he needed to do. And like certain plays that he made, especially that play on 4th and 5 or 4th and 4, I believe, just getting the touchdown and breaking off tackles and stuff like that, like giving effort. That's one thing I will say. This guy, he's gonna give it his all every game, and that's the type of player that you want as your Heisman winner. I told John that I said, nobody else was there, so that's why he got the Heisman. But I'll take that back. He actually showed he was good. But as far as Miami goes and Carson Beck, I mean, I can't say I agree with you, Eddie, because I thought he was going to go down there and win it because of what he did against Ole Miss. He went down there and drive down the field, and I think he just made a bad read on that one play. But other than that, I thought he had a chance. Me personally, what you think, John?
Yeah, I agree with you on that front. I kind of had hope that he was going to go down and make a play just because we seen it happen the game before where, he led his team to victory against Ole Miss. And like you said, that was pretty much the only mistake that he really had throughout that game. I thought he played a clean game. He gave him a chance to win because in the first half, they couldn't get nothing going on offense. And then the second half comes and he kind of orchestrated, that offense to put some points on the board. But as far as Miami goes, man, they had a good run this season. If you look back at where they were coming into the playoffs, they were the last team in. Like nobody expected them to be there. It was them or Notre Dame, and so I felt like they came in there with a huge chip on their shoulder, and they played up to that what they thought that they could do, and I think that kind of propelled them forward into the national championship. So I feel like it was a good season for them. As far as Indiana goes, it's kind of remarkable what Natty has done in his 2 years there. Being that they were historically the worst team ever in college football. They weren't really a team that dominated or won a lot of games. In fact, they lost a lot. And for him to come there in 2 years and they go 16-0 in their second year and they won the national championship, I mean, my hat goes off to him because I know that wasn't an easy thing to accomplish. And he bought a lot of 3 stars from JMU, albeit, they were talking about in the fantasy group chat that, these guys are 25 years old and they're supposed to do that. But these guys didn't come in as highly recruited players. And for him to put it all together and, they win the chip, man, it was remarkable, man. I thought the game was great. Great close game towards the end. And, yeah, man, I that's what you want to see in the national championship. You want to see it go down to the wire. And I just thought that it was a good game. But I will say we can now finally put all that, Indiana and LSU talk to bed because LSU won the national championship by 17. Indiana won the national championship by 6. So
I'm gonna
So
be real. We could have put that to bed a long time ago. But go ahead.
that's what I was just gonna say, bro. Like we keep giving them what they want, bro. You got you got to just ignore the fact that this don't got nothing to do with LSU. Like they just want the ratings, bro. Like I told y'all, bro. We just gotta act like we don't see it, bro. We know the real.
yeah.
Yeah.
Great game, though, man. But moving on to the NFL, man, the divisional round capped off on Sunday night, man. But we're gonna start off with the first game of the divisional round, man. The Broncos and the Bills. They went down to the wire, 33-30. Broncos pulled out the victory in overtime, but they lose their quarterback for the remainder of the playoffs, man. What was y'all thoughts on that game, and what was y'all thoughts on Bo Nix injury?
This Bryce guy, so I'll let him start.
Hmm, okay. In this game, I had some very deep thoughts about it because, talk about like misfortune. You play the game. I'm gonna start about the injury first. You play the game, you win the game, just ultimate high. And then next thing you know, you come down and you find out the quarterback is done for the year. That's just bad news for me, man. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I like Josh Allen. Yeah, that's well known on this podcast, but I also have love for Bo Nix because I felt like he would be a good prospect coming out of college. He was there for so long, but even with that, he's been a good player since then, and Sean Payton has been developing him, and I feel like he really went toe to toe with Josh Allen. And Josh Allen's performance, I'm not pleased because I mean all those turnovers, man. That's putrid, man. Like this is your time. This is your moment to try to make it to places that you never been to, and this is what you do. Like just carrying the ball like a loaf of bread, fumbling. Like what are we doing? But that's another topic for another day, man. Josh Allen, I don't want to hear you crying after the game, bro. You was on the field and you ain't do nothing about it, dude. Like I'm sick and tired of it. So, but moving on from that. I feel bad for the Broncos. Shout out to that defender who made that play, ripping it away. Controversial call, but at the end of the day, it swung the game, and they went on to win it. And I'll be interested to see what they do moving forward, man.
Hey, man, Eddie, you gotta be happy. I think you happy, bro, because he holding this guy accountable, bro.
Nah, I'm all smiles over here, bro. I'm really kind of like shocked a little bit, bro. I'm real proud of you, bro. That's great accountability right there. But I don't think you went as hard as you could have on Josh Allen. So I'll do you some justice. I just think we get a lot of people like past like the Herberts, the even I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna say Mahomes, bro. But like those type of guys, like we give them a pass, and one of those guys is considered one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league. Josh Allen, he just can't get the job done, bro. And this was the year. This was the year for him to just prove it and just shut all of the talk up, bro. He had no Mahomes, no Lamar, no Joe Burrow. So this was your time to go and get you a chip, bro. And it's like every time it's like the game in his hands, and it's always happened. Like it's just either bad luck, they don't get the ball in the overtime versus Kansas City, or he turns the ball over. So it's all on him, bro. And then the coach get fired, and as a result of this, so Josh Allen got multiple people fired, bro, and they keep not addressing him as the problem. He is the problem, bro. He not clutch. He's a great quarterback. He just don't have that clutch factor. And I think he's shown that time again. Like even though his first playoff game to his second, I mean, and then his third, and then like where he is now, bro. Like we see the same thing we always see. Like for him to end the game, he might win you a game, but then when it get like down to nitty gritty, and you need him to beat him, it don't happen. So I think he got some soul searching to do, and just to find it. Like Bryce said, I don't care about you crying, bro. You on the field. I think that's a cop out, bro. In my opinion. I don't. What you crying for, bro? Like you could have got yourself together before you came out there. That's an act, bro. No, we ain't feeling sorry for you. I know I don't. Sorry, not sorry.
How you feel about the Broncos? You don't got no thoughts on the Broncos?
It's I definitely feel that hurt just to see like they just for them to win, and then your starter is out. Like y'all don't win, had a great season, and then on a bonehead play like that, like it wasn't even like a gruesome play. It's taking a knee or like the wrap up before that. It just that sucks, bro. Like just to see that, and then like they got to start. I don't know bro name, but that's just that's
Stidham.
horrible. Still
Name's
Stipe.
Jared
Jared
Stidham.
Stidham.
Yeah, who? It's I hate that for him, but that sucks. Like whoever play them, I get them no shot, bro. The defense can't go out there and score 20 plus, bro. That's why the Texans need to win, but you saw how that win, bro. But the Patriots will. All right, bro. That was unnecessary, John. I think the Patriots go easily win and make the chip. Hopefully they lose though. But what you got to say, John? When you see
Man, like Brack said, man, Josh Allen didn't play his best game, brother. It was turnovers are inexcusable, especially when you're MVP in this league, and we gotta give him, his fair criticism, because if that was Lamar Jackson, we already know how that would go. And honestly, this was his best chance to make it to the Super Bowl, bro, because you don't have to deal with Mahomes. You don't have to deal with Lamar. You don't have to deal with Joe Burrow. All these guys are out sitting on the sideline. You're going up against guys who are new to the playoffs, and you can't get the job done. And like Bryce, I mean, like Eddie said, that resulted in the coach getting fired, and the coach got to take the blunt of it, what it is, and which I hate, because we've seen in past experiences that the coach is always going to get fired before the player. Like, they're not going to get rid of the player. The coach is always going to take it in. And it's kind of Josh Allen's fault because he didn't get the job done. These guys look to you. You don't have these receivers that you need on the field, so they look to you to elevate your game in these type of moments, and you just didn't do that. And that's what it boils down to. They played a good game, but they didn't play well enough to come away with the victory. As far as the Broncos go, man, like Eddie said, that's heartbreaking to know that your starter's going to be out for the remainder of the playoffs. Sean Payton in that press conference seemed, confident in Jared Stidham. I mean, which he has no other choice but to feel confident in him. He tried to, I guess, kind of like boost his morale through the media, praising him like that. But it's going to be an uphill battle, man, going up against a good Patriots team, albeit they will be at home, so that kind of, rolls in their favor. But, man, it's going to be tough, bro. That's tough to know that your quarterback is going to be out like that. But my question to y'all, I got two questions. How did y'all feel about, Sean Payton coming out right after the game and letting the world know that, Bo Nix was going to be hurt? Because a lot of people thought it was, fake news when they heard it. And then my second question would be, I don't know if y'all going to answer this in two parts, but just talk about the Sean McDermott situation, like how he got fired. Like, do y'all feel like he was scapegoated because of Josh Allen's,
I'll start with the second one. I definitely think this was a scapegoat. No, just to I think this was the easiest way for them to move the attention off of Josh Allen and just hurry up and address the situation in a way. So I think that's why they did that and pretty fast. If I think that wasn't fair to him and knowing everything that he's done for them in that organization in such little time. So I feel like that they did him wrong, and he wasn't deserving of that fire, especially after in that way. After Josh Allen go out there and lose you the game after you put them in position to win, he ain't made no bad calls. So I think that was messed up on their end. But no, they'll get what's coming to them for that situation. Now the other one, I think on Sean Payton, perhaps I feel like he had no other decision but to, because I feel like you got to clear it up. That's heartbreaking. That's something you have to address too. So I feel like anyway, throughout the week, this will come out anyway. So might as well nip it in the bud early, right after the game when he found out. So I feel like that was the right call on his behalf. That's hard news to break. especially like right after a great win like that, bro. So I know that was hard for him and the team, but hey, he the coach. He gotta get them boys ready to play next week. So he got to do his job. And, just coach them and just figure it out.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think in this situation, Sean McDermott was definitely scapegoated uh, by bad play from his quarterback, and the situation it's one of those things. I heard somebody say it this week. They said, for every job that a coach takes, it's going to end with you getting fired. And I think it's a situation where we've been to the same place, we've been to the same positions, and it was less things to deal with this year, and you didn't get it done. And I think, these organizations are getting to the point where they're tired of the same results. They want new things, and everybody think it's just supposed to happen right now. I was one of those people who said coaches need to be fired and all that, but I think we didn't took it too far. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody losing their job. And as far as Sean Payton mentioning it early, I think he wanted to get that out there so that the press wouldn't be trying to figure it out later on. Like, let's not have it as a distraction. But I also think the type of person, cerebral person that Sean Payton is, he definitely look at this like like a challenge that he want to overcome. Like, I think he want to add this to his greatness. Like, oh yeah, I had a backup quarterback and I went and won a Super Bowl. Like, I think that type of thing motivates him.
Yeah, for sure. Just knowing him, like I know him, being in New Orleans for all those years, this is definitely something that he he wants to embrace. He looks at it as a challenge, and I feel like honestly, I deep down inside, I really do feel like he's confident that Jarrett Stidham could get the job done. Um, that's just me personally, but I agree with y'all with Sean McDermott as well. I do feel like he was scapegoated, but I do feel like Brack said, these teams are getting tired of just being mediocre. They've gotten to the same position or worse every year. As far as the playoff goes, and I really just think they're looking for somebody to take them over the hump that can galvanize the team. We've seen it happen in multiple instances. Mainly with the Denver Broncos when they were number one seed like 3 years in a row, and then they fired their coach because they couldn't get the job done, and then the next coach came the next year and got them over the hump. So I think it's one of those situations with the Bills. But it also just goes to show you where ownership was with the coach, because even after coach got fired, they're gonna keep Josh Allen, of course, but then also the GM got promoted to president of football operations, so he got a promotion as well when the coach got fired, which is kind of crazy to me. But yeah, man, it just goes to show you what direction they believe the organization is in. But moving on, man, we gonna talk about the second game on Saturday, man. The 49ers and the Seahawks, bro. That was a good old fashioned beatdown, man, in Seattle, man. What was y'all thoughts on that?
I'm gonna keep it short and sweet, man. Brock Purdy sucks. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got, Brock. Brock Purdy sucks.
Nah, bro, you got more than that.
That defense, bro. That Seattle Seahawks defense is crazy, bro. And like I said, but with 49ers being so injured, it was gonna be rough for them. That's why I wanted the Eagles to win, and they lost my money. But I didn't think the 49ers was healthy enough, and the quarterback play wasn't up to par for them to make a good run. So, yeah, bro. Shout out to Seattle. I don't think they'll go get it done versus the Rams, but they got a shot with the defense. But Sam Darnold, I had no faith in him at all. Yeah. Shout out to the defense. Yeah, Brock Purdy sucked, bro. I'm happy.
I don't know how you could say, just Brock Purdy sucked, but I mean, he has had good performances this year. I think this was not maybe his one of his better games, but I think it's just one of those situations. It's too much to overcome. I mean, everybody getting hurt. It's a lot of controversy on there. I think it's like an electric substation that's right by their practice facility in San Francisco. Like, and it's making, possibly causing more injuries to them, more soft tissue issues and injuries and stuff like that to their team. And, I think it's definitely something you got to look at with all these injuries that they've been having in recent years. And I think one thing I would never do is discredit Kyle Shanahan for the job that he does, but at the same time, it's like, you know, this can't be the same old story every year. So I don't know what's gonna happen moving forward, but I mean they gotta get healthy. And with the Seahawks, I will say I gotta give them credit, man. The 12th man was rocking, and Rashid Shaheed's touchdown right off the back, I feel like that set the tone for the game. And I don't know how far they can go, but I do think that they'll be prepared moving forward. And I do think that they're gonna give the Rams a good tough matchup because I told y'all last week, man, the Rams are in trouble, and I really believe that. So we're gonna see what happens, man.
Hey man, I think the Rams are gonna give the Seahawks a run for their money. I think it's gonna be a real close game because you gotta think about it. The last game that they had, which was in Seattle, might I add, they took them down. They went to overtime, and if it wasn't for that fluke 2 point conversion that they got, the Rams would have won that game with no Devontae Adams, and Devontae Adams gonna be back for this game. So I think that the Rams are gonna have they're gonna give them a run for their money for sure. I don't believe you say the Rams in trouble, but I don't believe they're in that much trouble that they ain't gonna compete with the Seahawks. So that's just my take on it. But as far as San Francisco goes, at some point the injuries were gonna come back to bite them in the behind. You know what I'm saying? Because they just were missing so many key pieces on offense and defense. But like Brack said, the job that Kyle Shanahan has done keeping his team afloat with these all these injuries has to be commended because they won like 12 games and half they started were out. You know what I'm saying? So that's a tremendous job by him. But at some point in the season, they were going to feel the wrath of those injuries, and that's it had to happen on against the Seahawks. But man, the Seahawks defense is for real, but the LA Rams offense is also for real. So I can't wait to see, man, what's going to happen. But if I had to pick early pick, I'm rolling with the Rams. I'm rolling with the Rams to get the job.
I got a question for you though, Brax. Why you say you shaky about the Rams though? What have they shown you that has you shaky?
The only thing that I said was last week that I felt like they played down to their opponent. In this game, I don't feel like they did that. They showed that they were, battle tested as far as going into overtime and stuff like that. But I think that, you know, in a game where you on the road against Seattle, that type of mentality it could get you in a deep hole. And I think that they got to come out with that mentality that they're gonna put the game away early. That's my thoughts.
Interesting.
Very, because Brock Purdy, 140 yards.
But something to be noted again against the Rams is Sam Darnold's dealing with that oblique injury. The 49ers is not a team, this year anyways, that was a team that was going to get after the quarterback and, make him feel their injury. The Rams, on the other hand, is a different story. They got a better defensive line anchored by Jared Verse. So that's something to keep your eye on for that game for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And I'm just saying, like, Sam Darnold, they both and Brock Purdy, bro. They both like the same. They play the same, bro. So if I say Brock Purdy sucked, then hey, say what you want with the information. But go ahead, John. Let's move on.
Hold on. So are you saying that Sam Darnold is bad just because you just think he's just the normal Sam Darnold? Because I mean, in these situations, like he helping his team win. How can you say that?
Bro, he ain't do nothing spectacular, bro. Like, come on, like he playing with a cushion with his defense, bro. Like he know he got a great defense, bro. So he don't got to go out there and be Superman, which he don't. All you gotta do is just be okay. Just hand the ball off and do your check down, bro. He ain't making no crazy throws like you seen Caleb do. Like it's okay, bro. He not a great quarterback. He just okay, bro. He's professional, bro. So I gotta give him his credit. He being a pro, but that's it, and nothing else, nothing more, nothing less, bro. He's okay.
Moving on.
Cool.
What you guys think? What you guys think?
Nothing, bro. I mean, like I feel like the only difference is you saying one guy is winning and the other guy isn't. Because in my opinion,
because of the defense.
Okay. Well,
just imagine. Go ahead.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
Just imagine, because like what we finna get into next is kind of like lining this up, because even with all his turnovers, he still had over 140 and whatever Sam Darnold had. He had more passing yards than that. So just imagine take all them dumb throws he made and dumb decisions he made. We're not saying, because we already know that he's a better quarterback than both of those guys, but his decision making. But we'll get to that in a couple minutes.
All right, man. Moving on to the first game on Sunday, bro. That boy had to put his head down. I love it, man. The Patriots defeat the Texans 28-16, and they will go on the road to face the Broncos in the AFC Championship game, man. But that is not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about what went wrong with the Texans on Sunday. The floor is yours.
First of all, I don't like how you just excited to talk about my team like this, bro. Knowing everything that went on this year and what happened on Sunday afternoon, bro. Around my time, around 3:48 when this threw his first pick, around 4:48 for y'all. CJ Stroud, bro. We got some conversations that need to be held, man. You know, you one of my guys, bro, and I preach accountability to my fellas. So I'm gonna do the same. This was probably the worst 2 games I ever seen you play, bro. The turnovers, the fumbles, unacceptable, bro. I don't know what you got going on, brother, but I'll tell you this. You better fix it. You better fix it ASAP, bro. Because if you don't, I promise you, boy, we got something for you. We got something for you, brother. That was just egregious, bro. Like you know what you going into the game with, bro. Even playing the worst game we thought you play, he said, "Hold on, I got you. I got one more for you." You came out there in the conditions, knowing we playing in horrible weather, brother. We playing in rain, sleet, and snow. You come out here and you just throwing the ball up for grabs. CJ, we are without Nico, bro. We are without Nico. We without Trent, and bro, this what you decided to do. Like, bro, you got me all Mr. Bob Blade over here. Come on, like CJ, bro, you don't understand what you did for the city of Houston, bro. This was our year, bro. We had the number 1 defense. We have one of the best defenses in the league history, bro. And all you had to do was be okay. Even if you threw 2 picks, bro, we'd been okay. But 3, 4, and 1 half, bro. What are we doing? Hey, I'm starting to question my quarterback, bro. And you my guy. So if you got me questioning you, bro, you got to look in the mirror for yourself, bro. What are we doing, bro? What are you doing? This is not on Texans defense. This is not on anybody else. This is not on D'Amico. It's not even on Kaylee. I don't even like Kaylee. It's not on Kayimi. For the first time I said that, bro. CJ, this is on you, brother. I know you're a man of God, bro. You got to do more. You got to go to the altar. You got to get christened, bro. You got to get the oil, bro. But look. I understand Tank Dell hurt you. You had to get over there, bro. He coming back next year, so you ain't gonna have no excuse next year, bro. And if you don't do good next year, bro, you're not getting that contract, bro, and you out of here, bro. I'm sorry. That's what it got to be, bro. Go ahead, bro. I'm done.
Very spirited response from Eddie Lewis right there, man. I appreciate you for saying some of those things, man. Because honestly, I always say, if I'm not right, I'm just not right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel about this situation. I've been saying this for quite some time that the things that we were seeing from CJ Stroud, it's just not what it's going to take. It's not what's going to take. You're not going to be able to do that in the playoffs, and you're not going to be able to get away with it. And I feel like this performance really upset me in many ways because this defense has given us everything that we needed. And even when he was throwing those picks and doing everything wrong, throwing it up, just playing hot ball, it really, the defense was still fighting. They were still making plays. I mean, like, even when the game was over, defense was still fighting and making plays. And I think it's one of those situations we gotta really look in the mirror and say, hey man, do we really want to pay this man? Do we really want to put him in a tier of quarterbacks that actually have proven themselves? Because we don't even know what we have with him really. Like, he had a good, great, wonderful first season, but since then there's been a steady decline. And I feel like he's got to really focus on whoever's been talking to him, whoever's been really trying to coach him up. We can't blame the coaches. We can't blame anybody else. This is a direct look in the mirror for him to decide who does he want to be as a quarterback. Like, do you want to be the quarterback who only, was known for his rookie year and putting himself in conversations with other quarterbacks when you ain't done half the stuff that they done? Or are you gonna be somebody who actually say, I'm gonna go put in the work during the summer and actually be a better quarterback? So I really don't have much else to say because everything I've said it before. Like, you can tell us you're gonna work on it in the offseason. You said last week that you was gonna work on your play, and you come back and do it worse. But maybe you was right. You said you had to control the ball last week, and so instead of fumbling this week, you threw picks. I mean, maybe you did do better, but in my opinion, bro, you just got to work on your game, bro. Work on your game, man. And I don't want to talk about it. I want you to be about it this offseason. That's my thoughts on it. But I don't know, man. I don't know what we got with him.
Any last words?
Oh, I forgot where we at. I'm sorry.
Shout out to the. I will say this. Shout out to the Patriots, though.
Man, no. Hell no.
No. I got to. Shout out to the Patriots. They took advantage of this bad performance from us. So shout out to them.
All you had to do was play ball. You ain't got damn nothing. They fumbled too, and they happy. They knew they was gonna get another chance with CJ in the first half too, bro. He'll give us another one. Carson Davis, boy, he probably loves CJ. He got some more money on for sure on the way.
Oh, and one other thing, Will Anderson Jr., thank you so much for your season, bro. You showed up all year, forcing fumbles, getting sacks, and Daniil Hunter as well.
Yeah.
And all that whole defense, man. I mean, I just love all y'all, bro. But the offense, we need some work. And I don't know what things we need to change, but we need to change it all, personally. That's how I
And
feel.
we go fix some stuff for sure. We got to clear the O line up in the draft in the off season. Definitely got to clear that right side up. Go get healthy. Tank coming back. We need Joe Mixon to come back healthy, and get a bit of close. Be all right.
Do y'all not feel like the offensive line played better than what y'all expected they would coming into the season?
Yeah, the last game, yes, but this game with Trent Brown being out, no, because Titus Howard, he is horrible at tackle, and it showed. But Trent Brown, even though I don't like him, he was a better fit for us at tackle, but that definitely showed. He wasn't there, especially in the run game, because we had a great run game in all these last games. Like when we went on the streak, he had a great run game, and then when them bent out, we couldn't get nothing going because Titus Howard, he just not it at the tackle position, bro. So. And that definitely showed. And then he got hurt again and played through it. So yeah, we got to get off of them guys on the O line and get some new guys and get some dogs for real. But yeah, bring everybody back on defense, bro. Pay them guys, keep that group together. That's number one priority. We gotta keep that group together. That's a legendary group right there.
I got you, man. Moving on, man, to the final game of the divisional round. The Rams went to Chicago and got an overtime victory against the Bears, 20-17, man. And now the Rams will go on to face the Seahawks in Seattle for the conference championship. But this game was full of theatrics, should I say. Caleb Williams, just when we thought he couldn't make another amazing throw, he did it again, y'all. So what was y'all thoughts about that game, bro? Do y'all feel like this was the best game of the divisional round?
I mean, this was the closest game besides the Bills. I think the Bills was I think it was a better game, but I think this had more like oohs and ahs just because of the last play, bro. Caleb, like, it's crazy, bro. Like this the MO, bro. Like they've been coming back all year, bro. And on the last play of the game, bro, he did it again, bro. Like, first of all, I don't know what the DB was doing, bro. He was just in la la land, bro. It was a little push up, but that's crazy, bro. You got to stay attached in that moment. So I think he definitely had various money line for sure. But Caleb, I gotta give him his flowers, bro. All year, bro, he been doing this, coming back, but he couldn't get it done in overtime with the interception. And but he definitely took that next step. And he gonna be one of the top QBs, one of the top young QBs in the league for a long time. So shout out to the Bears. They had a great run, but I got the Rams for sure. And going against the Seahawks.
Yeah. I definitely will say Caleb Williams, he did show. I mean, he's been showing over these last couple of weeks. He's been showing that he can do whatever he want to do in this league as far as moving forward. He can be one of those top quarterbacks. that play that he made running backwards. I mean, that's unconventional. You usually tell your quarterback, man, don't do that. Why you're not supposed to run backwards and all that. But somehow he makes a play, and shout out to him and the receiver or tight end who caught it. Uh, I will say, like I said, even though I said the Bears are in trouble, I have to give it a good not Bears. I said the Rams are in trouble. I gotta give them credit because they still came out with the victory. And we talked about it a little bit earlier, but like, they did come up come up big in the moments that they needed to. So like, shout out to them. But I don't know. I don't know if they can go on the road and beat Seattle. I just don't believe it.
They did it. All right, bro. Okay.
What? What?
Go ahead, John.
This is a hostile environment, bro. Y'all is undermining how
What
big
John
the
just
12th
said,
man
though.
is.
What John
It's
just said.
What did he say?
They just went there, bro, and you saw the game. That's without Devontae, bro, and they should have
But they
won.
lost. They lost.
The
They
refs,
lost.
the refs really gave Seattle the game. Well, they didn't really give it to them, but the 2-point conversion was fluke, bro.
It was.
Bro.
But see, look, if it came down to the wire and it wasn't the playoffs, then with the playoff environment, I mean, y'all don't think that tipped the Seahawks way at all? No.
Because they got a quarterback by the name of Matthew Stafford that has seen it all. So
Proven.
I'm not really concerned. Now, if it would have been somebody like a Brock Purdy, for example, then maybe I would have been like, a quarterback that ain't been in the league, that don't know what to expect from these type of environments or how to handle a game of this magnitude. But like they got Matthew Stafford, and he's seasoned. He knows what to expect. So why would I go against him when I feel like the Rams are a better team?
Yeah,
But as far as this game, bro, the Bears show that they're a team that's going to be around for a good while, especially with Ben Johnson at the helm. It's going to be interesting, though, to see how next season plans out for them because, usually when you see all these teams winning a lot of these one-score games, the next season doesn't really turn out to be the greatest of seasons. For example, we've seen that with the Washington Commanders. Last season, they won a bunch of one-score games, and they were able to make it to the playoffs and make some noise. And then this season, they had one of their worst seasons. I think they only won 4 games. So that's something I'm going to be keeping my eye out on for the Bears next season. That's just the way history goes as far as the NFL. But they definitely did what they had to do this season. Like Eddie said, Caleb definitely made a name for himself, putting himself as one of the top young quarterbacks. I think he's above C.J. Stroud now, but that's me.
Nah, it is funny though. It is funny because CJ was after that game that they played acting like he was big bro. Now he look like little bro.
Yeah, bro.
No, he not.
He got more playoff wins.
Yeah, Bryce.
That don't matter, bro. I seen the stat, bro. The defense has scored 32 points in all of our they've held the offenses that we've played in playoff games to 32 points in the last playoff games that we've played. The Texans offense, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, CJ Stroud himself has only scored 32 points. So the defense is giving you everything that he giving you. So that's crazy. And the defense not supposed to score points.
But we have a great defense, bro. So you can't get mad because he's in a good situation with his defense.
But
he got the job done, yes or no?
Yes, but that hurts your argument when you bring up the playoff wins.
How? They won.
They won, but they as the team, not him.
He the leader, bro.
The defense won, not him. The defense won.
He not just out there throwing. He ain't throw no picks in that game.
In what game?
Chargers.
The Chargers.
And then in Kansas City. No, that
we're not talking about pre. We talking about this year.
All right.
This year, what do you do?
Let's go to the next.
But before we go to the next block, do y'all want to just say y'all final condolences to the people who we fallen in the playoffs, who fallen in the playoffs, and the teams that
they ain't die, bro.
They done left the playoffs. They not here no more, man. We got the AFC championship and the NFC championship, man. So
I don't got no condolences. You hear me? because New Orleans gonna be.
No, they not.
New
No,
Orleans
they be watching. They be watching again next year.
And guess what? You gonna be right along with me. If your boy
I
keep
know we're going to the playoffs though. I know
your boy
that.
keep playing like he playing, you gonna be right along with me.
I know we're gonna be in the playoffs though. Can you say the same?
Yeah, I can actually.
Delusional.
I can actually.
Who y'all picks? Who y'all got?
Man, I told you I'm going Patriots. I'm going Rams.
No, to win it all.
Oh, Rams.
Brax?
Well, I ain't gonna say who gonna make it, who win it all yet, but I will say I'm picking Seahawks, Patriots, Super
That
Bowl.
sounds about right. Cause I got the Patriots. And I got the Rams. I'm going Rams.
Man, but I don't know, man. Like, if it is Seahawks versus Patriots, man, count me out, bro. I'm not watching that though. But I will say the Rams, they definitely add a little bit more aura to the Super Bowl. You know, you
He
want them big name
He
teams.
loves some aura,
It's a
bro.
Seahawks and Patriots would be a rematch though.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's not the same though. You ain't got the Legion of Boom and
Them boys
Beast
trying to
Mode.
get back for Marshawn Lynch, man.
Yeah.
That would be a nice storyline.
It would, low key. But what if the Broncos? Like, just think about what if the Broncos?
We don't want to see that though, bro. That's boring.
We don't, but that would be a good storyline though.
Man.
They made that Jarrett
I want to see good bump, bro.
I don't think the NFL. I don't think the NFL gonna let the Broncos.
We gotta stop that, bro. We gotta stop, bro.
Yeah,
What you mean?
That's the reason why people always say the NFL rigged, because they say, well, the NFL got a hold on these storylines, bro.
You gotta stop.
Bro, it's football. These boys gotta go out there and play.
You gotta stop, bro. If that was the case, Texans would be in the Super Bowl, bro, because they want Texas to win. Hey, everybody pick the Texans, bro.
No, but you gotta think about it, bro. Like Patriots coveted franchise,
Bro,
they wanted
stop with all that stereotyping, all the
I hate when people do that, bro. Say that.
Nah, bro, you feed into it, bro.
Yes.
I'm just saying, bro.
NFL
The stuff that you seen it on that play with the interception, bro. One week they call it, pick, then the next week they want to call it something else.
Don't put yourself in that position then. How about that?
I agree. But hey, either way, like I say, any of these teams besides the Rams, it's probably not gonna have no aura, but it is what it is.
Oh my, right? Hey, but bro,
yeah,
take it up, man.
we finna go to the break, right, and then talk about some basketball.
We gonna talk about the coaches, man. Just some of these recent hires. We don't gotta spend too much time on it, but I know Saleh just went to the Titans last night. Halfley went to the Dolphins. Stefanski to the Falcons. Harbaugh to the Giants. And of course, we talked about McDermott out with the Bills, man. Who y'all think? Which team made the best hire? We're gonna leave it at that. Which team made the best hire?
Easily, in my opinion, the Giants with Harbaugh. Harbaugh's a great coach. He didn't get it done with Lamar, but I definitely think this was the best situation for him going to the Giants. They already got a good quarterback, good running back. They got weapons. They got decent defense. So he got a lot to work with. So I think that this is the best fit for him and for the Giants.
I think the best hire to me is the Titans hiring Robert Saleh. I think that is a big pickup because I kind of compare that to like D'Amico getting here. Like they both good defensive coaches, and who's to say, it's a lot of OCs out there right now. If he get like a Mike McDaniels or somebody like that, I'm gonna be scared. I ain't gonna lie. So I think that's a good pickup. I like Stefanski to the Falcons. I know people don't like it because they hate they hate that how he handles Shador, but that's a damn good coach, bro.
Me too.
And
I like it to the Falcons. I'm just glad the Falcons ain't go get John Harbaugh. That's what I'm happy about. I like Stefanski to the Falcons. But Brex, I also like Saleh to the Titans, bro. I really do. I like Saleh to the Titans, like you said, because he's a defensive coach. And if he bring in a good offensive coordinator, they could put some things together. They're gonna have to go get some good pieces this off season. I think they have a good GM in place, Mike Berganzi, who came from Kansas City, so he knows what it takes to build a good roster. So that's something to keep your eye on. But I'm with Eddie though. I think that the best hire was Harbaugh to the Giants, just because he's a culture builder. He knows what it takes to win. and he got good pieces over there. You know, with Dart, Scatterboo, and then defensively Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, Abdul Carter, those guys. So they got the pieces in place to win. And Harbaugh is a good culture builder, so I like that. I like that hire to the Giants for sure.
I'm kind of surprised that he took the job though, because with him being in a situation where he was basically could win and like possibly win in the Super Bowl or like get to the playoffs and actually compete. Now he's going back to a situation where he's got to build it. So I don't know. I'm kind
Maybe
of
that's the challenge. Maybe that's the challenge he wanted. Though. Maybe he want to build. He want to start from ground zero again and kind of build a winning culture in New York. Because honestly, New York is one of the most prestigious franchises in the NFL. So like, it kind of sucks when they ain't winning.
I don't think
it
he's
is.
ground zero though. I feel
Now
like
he definitely a few levels up because he got some decent players, but they do have some holes they need to fill. On
yeah,
that.
I think every team got holes in his field. But like in that division, I definitely think they got because they had a shot this year. Really, if Lee don't get hurt and if them and Scabble don't get hurt, who said they're not in the playoffs? So I
Yeah,
feel like they always got a shot. Yeah, I think they can fix that in the offseason and the draft. Though that's easy to fix in my opinion. So I think they ain't not built from the ground up, bro. I think he in a good position. Like if I think they like above middle of the pack right now. If they fix that up and they get healthy.
I will say, as a coach, that's probably is a good job to take because it's not too many expectations, but it's not like you're supposed to be bad either. So you might not get fired as quick as some of these other places.
right, right. Man. So man, we about to hit the break. When we come back, we're gonna talk about a little bit of the NBA All-Star starters. They got revealed. When it was yesterday, they got revealed.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about that when we come back from the break, man. Y'all don't want to miss it. Y'all keep it locked right here. Welcome to the World of Sports. We'll be back.
Welcome to the World of Sports podcast. As you can see on the screen, the All-Star starters for the NBA All-Star game has been announced. We now know who will be starting, and we'll find out the reserves a little bit later. But what do y'all think about it? Like, I'm gonna name them out, and then y'all can tell me who y'all think or what y'all think about them. So for the West, we're gonna start with the West. We got Shea Gilgeous-Alexander at the guard, Nikola Jokic, and Luka Doncic, Steph Curry, and Victor Wembanyama. What do y'all think about the West All Stars?
It's a big name missing, man. That we have never seen this before, I just think we get into that point, bro. Like we gotta start realizing, bro. It's almost that time when Bron, you can hang it up, man, because he will be right there in that jersey where Luka is in the middle of the pack, holding the ball. But
I also think though him missing the first portion of the season got a lot to do with him not being on there because he missed like the first 2-3 weeks of the season when the season started. So I think that got a lot to do with it, and he ain't really been playing in back-to-back season. So, but I think he should definitely be on the All-Star team, just not a starter. But I think that this West lineup is valid. It's valid. It's valid in my opinion.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I don't think because women miss a lot of games too, but I understand that pick because there's no other big really in the West. But I definitely think that Ant definitely was snubbed. I think Steph should have been on the bench for Ant just because Ant been playing crazy. He damn near averaging 30 on that team. And they higher than the Warriors, I believe, in the standings right now. Steph, he had 6 points the other night, and he has his Steph games, but he hasn't been consistent all year. But I definitely think Ant got snubbed. But I'm not saying Steph not deserving. We all know what Steph is. Top 3-point guard all time, best shooter of all time. But I just think this year, with LeBron and KD not starting, the OGs basically. I
I
think
didn't
just
even think about KD.
Yeah, I was about to get to it. Don't worry. I felt like KD kind of got snubbed, bro. He's been having a good year, and I think as far as name value and the type of year he was having, I mean, I don't know who you take out, but hey, man,
exactly.
he definitely supposed to be in here, man. I think I mean, yeah, you can't take nobody out. So I guess he had to go to the bench. But me personally, I'm not okay with this, bro. Like I feel like he should have been a starter. I mean, and you know, I don't know, man. I
He
feel like the
averaging what?
NBA messed up on this one.
He averaging what,
Huh?
like 18?
I mean, hey, bro. So we worried about averages or we worried about production?
18 points. KD averaging 18 points a game, bro.
Probably.
That's this correctly.
I believe it's
What?
more than that. I believe
Probably
it's closer to
I'm checking right
26.
now. I'm checking right now.
23. Ain't nothing crazy, I tell you that.
He
Because he had
averaging 26.
Look at that, averaging 26 a game, and we talking about he can't make the All-Star starters,
nah,
man.
these,
Kevin
all
Durant.
these guys averaging more besides Steph.
I don't
You
know,
know,
man.
Wimby they do everything, but they
They
you know
they
how
they could have.
they're trying to push Wimby, so I get it.
Yeah, that's what it is. Because Wimby really need to get up out of here, man.
No, he don't. No, he don't. He hooping. He didn't,
He
but
hooping, but
he hasn't been healthy. So that's why I feel like LeBron or Anthony Edwards, they could have easily been replaced. Well, still for sure, but I don't want to spend
it's
so much time on it. We good.
yeah, it's always gonna be somebody getting snubbed because you can only pick five, and there's a lot of people that be hooping. So, but let's move on to the Eastern Conference. We got Cade Cunningham with the Detroit Pistons, Tyrese Maxey with the Philadelphia 76ers, Giannis Antetokounmpo with the Milwaukee Bucks, Jalen Brunson with the New York Knicks, and Jalen Brown with the Boston Celtics. Man, what do y'all think about the East?
I have no rebuttals. All these guys have been hooping, especially Jalen Brown. He's been putting Boston on his back. I think they third in the East, so he definitely got to be a starter. Um, Tyrese Maxey and Cade Cunningham been hooping as well. Giannis been doing this thing. Jalen Brunson been doing this thing, but the Knicks losing. But I have no rebuttal with that. I like that.
Yeah, me definitely K, definitely Tyrese, definitely JB. Now, if we was to sub anybody, I think it would have to be either Giannis or Jalen Brunson for who now? I think only people that is in contention for that is Jalen Johnson, and Donovan Mitchell. But Donovan Mitchell hasn't been playing crazy. He has, his spider game when he had 50 or 40, and
He
then
averaging 28, if I'm not mistaken.
he come and have like his game we had 17 and then 16. So I'm like, I understand it. You know what you're getting out of Giannis every night because he had to. And Bronson, he don't pass the ball, so he go get his.
Donovan Mitchell averaging 29 a game.
That's tough.
I'm gonna be real, like, bro, the points that you average, man. I mean, hey, but that's just part of the battle nowadays. You can score, but you got to do other things to really make these
It's
lists.
not.
Is
It's
what
not
it's
even
looking
that,
like.
bro. It's that fan vote. It's that fan
What
vote.
Jalen Brunson do other than score the ball? If I'm being honest.
Being in New York, that fan vote.
Yeah.
So you saying it's rigged?
The fan vote is a lot. It's a fan
Fans
vote.
vote is the starter. The fans vote on the starter, right?
Yeah, they
And
vote on
then
yeah.
the reserves.
They vote on everybody. They do the starters first. Like for everybody put their nominations and stuff in. They bring it down and then they pick from there and then the rest for the starters. And they go vote on the starters. I mean the reserves from who left.
I thought the coaches picked the reserve.
Man, no.
Mm.
All that is
Yeah,
fan and media.
Let me see. I'm not
I
sure.
believe the coaches do pick the reserve a little
They are
bit.
part of the media vote. They have a
Oh
vote, but I'm
yeah,
saying media, and then they average with the fans.
that's true. I believe that is true. They do vote on it, but it's got to be finalized. But what do y'all think about it being in LA? I like the location of it.
It says yes. NBA head coaches select the reserves for the NBA All-Star Game, and their respective conferences, choosing 7 players to join the 5 starters who are picked by fans, players, and media. Coaches cannot vote for players on their own teams, and recent rules have made the selection process positionless, focusing on overall talent rather than specific guard or forward roles.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's fair to have the coaches voting on it. I mean,
Yeah.
because it shouldn't be all just fan votes, because they'll vote Austin Reeves in here.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
Austin Reeves is on the reserve just nominee because, like I said, yeah, the coaches and the fans and like commentators like Stephen A. got to vote. Those type of guys, they all got to vote for that. That's the part of the media vote. But
Yeah.
I do like this. I love this logo actually, bro. I love this logo. That's what I wanted to say when I first seen it. That's what caught my eye for sure.
Oh, the All-Star Game
Yeah.
in LA this year. So,
Yeah. I like that it's in LA just for the simple fact, the stars gonna show up. It's gonna be a star-studded event, and I feel like
You
that's when
know,
they really. Well, yeah, but that's when they really be hooping. I feel like when they see a whole line of people over there, like looking at them. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that brings the energy to the game. Because I think when you have it in places like Indiana, or I think they had it in, no disrespect, but like Denver or something like that, bro. They not hooping for real. But you put some real folks up in that building, bro. They gonna
what
start
you, what
hooping
you
for
gonna say?
something.
Some real what?
Well, some real folks. That's what I said.
The boy.
Oh yeah, but you know what I wanted to say, but but yeah, you put some real folks in there, man. It's gonna be a good game. So I'm excited for it. And hey man, we almost to that point where it's gonna be full basketball all time. So
Bro, I hope this game is competitive, bro. Like the last games, since the last good game we had was like the one for Kobe when they first introduced that format, bro. So I really hope that this game is more competitive than the late years, bro. Because the last it's been bro. It's not even watchable, bro.
yeah. But moving on, man, we got some sad news for y'all, man. Jimmy Butler suffered a season-ending injury. He suffered a torn ACL on a play where he was going to get a rebound, and it just didn't pan out the right way. What was your thoughts on that?
Hey man, sad man, sad. You don't never want to see a player go down with a season in the injury, especially a player that's the age of Jimmy Butler. He on the back half of his career, I think like 35, 36. And the Warriors needed him if they wanted to make a good push. That's the reason why they went and acquired him from Miami, which is the team he got hurt against, ironically. So that yeah, man, that's just sad. You never want to see a player of Jimmy Butler's caliber go down, and it's gonna be interesting to see if the Warriors make another move at the trade deadline since he's out. But I don't anticipate it because they're paying so much to Jimmy Butler that they go get a star like another star to pair along with Steph and Draymond. I think they're just gonna ride it out this season and see how it goes.
I disagree. I do want to say I'm sorry for this news for Jimmy Butler. Hope him a speedy recovery. But I do think the Warriors will make a move, but they already was gonna make a move because Kaminga he want to be out of there, and I think they said a perfect trade would be for Michael Porter Jr. That's a perfect fit in my opinion because all he want to do is catch a shoot anyway. So just pairing him in that situation with Steph and Draymond, who loves to pass it as well, I think that's a great fit for both sides. And they get off Kaminga and set him free, which they should have did last year, honestly, because Steve Kerr don't like him, he don't play him. So what's the point of keeping him there? So get off of him, let him go hoop.
Yeah, I definitely think he'll be packaged with whatever move they decide to make because you don't want to waste a player like Steph Curry's prime. No, he's not in his prime anymore, but you don't want to waste a player like Steph Curry's, abilities because at any moment, he can get hot. And I felt like last year, you know, had he played against the Timberwolves, you never know what happens. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that for sure.
All right, y'all. It's time for the best part of the show now with the Black Spotlight. Today, for my Black Spotlight, I picked Caleb Love. Caleb Love, he is hooping right now off the bench for the Portland Trail Blazers. So I definitely want to shine a light on him. He's been coming off the bench and having 20 plus in the last 8 or so games. He's been hooping for real. So he didn't get the light that he should have got out the draft, but he went undrafted. But he got signed. That's all he needs is a chance, and they gave him a chance, and now he hooping. So shout out to my boy Caleb Love, man. Who you got, John?
Yeah, man. This week I'm going with Caleb Williams, man. Caleb Williams.
Hold on. Restart. uh,
Who want to go?
no. Go ahead. I thought you was gonna go to me. Hold on. Go ahead.
All right, man. This week I'm going with Caleb Williams as my black spotlight, man. Just because he had a good season, everybody doubted what him and Ben Johnson could do coming in. Everybody didn't know if it, asking if it was a great fit or not. How will Caleb respond to the type of coach that Ben Johnson is? And he responded by taking his team to the divisional round of the playoffs and pulling off some miraculous throws in the process, man. So shout out to him. Hope that you have continued success. Don't never let CJ Stroud little boy you no more, because you is him. You the real one, you heard me? And shout out to you, bro. Keep doing your thing. And as long as you balling, nobody can't say nothing about you. So keep doing your thing.
Nah, no way. Cause you was just the one saying you ain't like him painting the
I don't
nails
like
and
him
stuff.
big. I don't like him doing all that extra stuff big. I can't say nothing about him because he hoop.
You're right. You're right. And shout out to Caleb Williams and Caleb Love. In my black spotlight, I've decided to pick Victor Wembanyama. He's starting for in the All-Star game for the first time, and he's been putting together a good season and got the Spurs organization just feeling like they got life and juice, something that they haven't had in a minute. And I feel like, he's having a good season, definitely being one of the better defenders in the league. I mean, I will say this, how hard is it to defend when you 7'10"? It seemed like, but shout out to him. And he's my black spotlight. So yeah, man. Shout out
How
to
you how
all of
you
our
hate
black spotlights.
how you hate and giving inflow at the same time,
Man,
bro?
you gotta
Got
keep
a
people
point.
humble.
He do got a point. Everybody be talking about how he is great defender, but I mean, it ain't really hard to block shots when you 7'18". You know what I'm saying?
Well, it is some 7-footers that that don't got that in their bag.
But you know what you see, 7-footers, not 7'6".
Mhm. And it's some 7-footers that can't even stay on the court. They just get hurt all the time.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid. But yeah, man. That's all we got for today's episode of Welcome to the World Sports Podcast, man. Y'all already know what to do, man. Follow us on Instagram. Follow your boys on Instagram, man. And when y'all get to that YouTube link, like, comment, subscribe. Leave us some encouraging words, some tips, man. Leave us some thoughts, whatever y'all got to do, man. Show some love, man. Y'all do that, man. Until next week, we hope that y'all stay blessed. Y'all have a great rest of y'all week. And y'all keep it locked here to the Welcome to the World Sports Podcast. We out.